But if you look at case law, it really is on their side. I'm sure you know the stats. There's really been no vertical integration or merger shot down since the Nixon administration. And at the heart of that, this is what this is, purely a vertical integration.
You've spent the last week talking to people, legal experts, people in the industry. What's your takeaway? The market may be thinking there's a 35 to 40% chance, maybe a little better than that. But what do you think the odds are this deal gets done?
I mean, I think we're over 50% in AT&T's favor. It looks like, based on the briefings that both companies have followed, the DOJ's case is going to be really centered around the fact that prices will rise following the deal. But if you look at the facts, that really hasn't been the case. In fact, in their own briefing, they argue that some of the pricing will go up by about 45 cents per bill. But again,
the government's briefing.
The government's briefing, which is less than 0.5% increase. And AT&T has signed an arbitration with other competitors, essentially agreeing not to raise prices on any of the Time Warner content, which is really the heart of the matter as well.
So if investors are looking at this and trying to figure out what to do ahead of this, you would tell them to do what? Buy AT&T shares, buy Time Warner shares?
I follow AT&T, so that's the one I can speak to. And I think either way, frankly, this stock is trading at 10 times earnings, an attractive dividend yield, which is very safe, and a very solid balance sheet. This is the one I'd buy, frankly, in either outcome. We need this overhang removed, and this trial will be expedited, so I think we'll know something either way by probably early to mid-May, and then we really can move forward with either path. But at this point, if you look at the valuation, it's extremely attractive to me.
I own this stock, and I'll tell you what's worrying me a lot. Why would the government bring a case like this? I know nothing since Nixon's days has been stopped, but they don't bring frivolous cases. And a lot of us that own this stock are concerned that they see something the rest of us don't. They're not bringing this to lose. Why would they bring it if it didn't have meat on the bone? And if this thing doesn't work out, I think there's downside on this stock. What do you think happens to AT&T if this deal gets busted up?
I think if this deal gets busted up, I think that certainly that's a curveball and a some would call a sucker punch. But I think we have to look at the heart of it. This is a company with 60 million broadband customers, a national video distribution, and 110 million wireless customers. If you look at how content is being monetized, it's really through wireless and broadband. And AT&T has a very, very large stake in both of those distribution platforms. So certainly I would agree with you that the DOJ's history is more on their side in fighting deals, but I think we have to look at what the heart of the case is. And again, the factual case law is still very much, in my view, and the attorneys I speak to's side.
Jennifer, having said that, though, AT&T itself has said that this is a very important deal for their future because they're competing with a lot more than just other carriers or other cable companies down the road. You're now talking about technology writ large.
Right. I mean, I think that is where the world is going. AT&T's view of the world is that the video consumption is changing to an intensely competitive internet-based one. And I think any of us who have children and watch how they are consuming content would very much agree with that statement. But again, distribution matters, and AT&T has a stake in and a hand in each of the honeypots, per se, as to how this content is being consumed with or without Time Warner.
Let's say that, Jennifer, this deal does get struck down. What are the deals that you take a look at that are either proposed or have been done, aka Comcast, NBCU, where you think maybe the government could actually step in and challenge them? I mean, if this notion that distribution and content can't live in the same hands, then you really have to reevaluate a lot of the deals that have been proposed or have been done.
Right, absolutely. I mean, I think the bigger statement also is the ones watching the outcome of this certainly are AT&T, but it should be a lot of other providers as well, namely the edge providers, because if this vertical deal is shot down, that has implications for others.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.